Belgian waffles. Belgian waffles. Belgian waffles. Splash in the coffee.
Welcome. Okay, so we could just go. Well, first of all, it's thundering outside, and I think it's settled down a little bit now, but for those of you that already treat my videos like it's just an audiobook or ASMR, I know it's a lot of you, maybe this could do it for you. I don't know. If you like rain sounds and those are going on in the background, then this could be a fun sort of ASMR-y kind of video. I truly hate that. As you know, in all my videos, since I got started on this platform, YouTube, you've heard of it, I've been trying to discover sort of where I fit, you know? And I decided right from the get-go, I wasn't going to be a cliche, you know, I wasn't going to be every YouTuber, okay? I decided from the get-go that I was not going to just, last resort, immediately go to YouTube drama and clickbait and all this, you know, mean-spirited content. I decided I wasn't going to do that. And trust me, if you're here to just see a fun, a happy, a nice video, I'm here, I can do that. I wish I could tell you that all of YouTube was just happy, you know, but it's not. It's a war zone. I tried to stay out of YouTube drama. I tried to stay out of internet drama as long as I could. I didn't want to get caught up in that. Okay, I still don't. I don't want people to, you know, think of me as the guy that picks fights, the guy that has really strong, hard opinions and brings the, you know, can't let anything go and just always is trying to get into a fight on YouTube. I don't want to be known as that guy, I really don't. Guys, I found myself in a tight spot because there's a cause. It's very near and dear to my heart. Basically, I found myself caught up in the crosshairs of a huge internet fight. And maybe it would just be better I stay out of it, but I feel like I have to have some courage, and I have to, at certain points, you know, in my YouTube career, I have to take a stand for the things I believe in. There's a big debate on the internet. I find it mean-spirited, I find it evil, and I wanted to go ahead and assert my position so you know it. I wanted to go ahead and say how I feel about this thing, because I know everybody's going to say, Nick, you have to have a stance on it. People are going to ask. I know everybody already asked, you know, all the major YouTubers, I think, have pretty much said where they stand on it. I don't want there to be conspiracy, I don't want there to be misconceptions, I don't want there to be speculation, and so if I am taking a stance on this very specific issue that you are offended by, I am sorry. I don't apologize for my view, okay? I've stalled saying what the issue is and how I feel about it for as long as I think I can in this video without just saying it. Basically, here's the thing. I love Rick Steves. I support Rick Steves. Oh, man. It feels good to, first of all, say it. The internet is so divided about this. This is probably the biggest one. People are fighting. I don't know what the other things people are sort of fighting about are. Like, people are angry at, like, some of the big, you know, like the Paul brothers. Gosh, those guys always getting themselves into such wacky hijinks. No, they're not. It's not wacky hijinks. It's just getting themselves into bad, offensive situations and then not being able to explain their way out of it. People are divided about what color the dress is. I think that was a while ago. But people were angry about that. And this is the one, you know, this is the one that I think I've seen the most fighting about. I was kind of looking for it, I would say. But it's because it's something that I care about outside of the debate. You know, I liked Rick Steves before this was a thing even. You know, I know a lot of people have, because of this debate, have discovered who he is and they've looked into him a lot. I would say you could walk up to anybody now and say, what's your opinion on Rick Steves? And they would be like, we might as well talk politics, right? Because it's that divisive and everybody, you know, knows about it. I think it has to stop here. And I know it's not. I know this issue is bigger than me. I know that you know, even if all the YouTubers, you know, even if every YouTuber tried to get their heads together and fix this internet issue that's dividing the people, I know it still would not come to a close that way. People are so opinionated, divisive about this. If you don't know who Rick Steves is, we'll start there. He's a travel guide. He writes books. He does audiobooks, he does just tour pamphlets, he has websites, and he is I would say he's most well known for his video series, his television series, Rick Steves Europe, or Rick Steves Abroad. I would say if you want to know sort of his vibe, he's just a down-to-earth tourist with an extensive amount of knowledge about the history and cultures of the places that he visits. He will oftentimes at least meet with several different families in a culture to see how they sort of go about daily life. He'll walk around the most scenic places in any one country, as well as some of the less seen cities in a country. Some small villages, some big metropolitan areas, some historical places. He'll travel these places, he'll talk about them throughout history. He also, you know, he's a tourist, so he'll also, he dives into the food of a place, he dives into the holidays, or the way they celebrate holidays of the place. Gosh, some of my very favorite of his specials are when he goes around tours at Christmas time, goes around and tours at Easter time, the Yuletide season, the Easter, it doesn't have another name, the Easter season, Rosh Hashanah, Hanukkah, Passover, basically whatever the dominant religious celebration or cultural celebration is that happens in the country that he's at, he goes and he celebrates with the people. Basically, I think if you're going to say one thing about Rick Steves, one thing that encapsulates him, on the whole, he's a party man. He loves to party. And maybe I'll roll a little bit of a clip here, show you a little bit like what he's like.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves, here on YouTube.
How could you, first of all, how could you not like that? Well, I'll tell you how. There's a lot of people on the internet that really don't like him. People don't have a great reason for hating him, and I just want to draw attention to those people. There are some really stupid, dumb, stupid people on the internet. And they just hate Rick Steves, and I think they're the dumbest people ever. And they have a lot of websites and stuff that they've made to talk about how much they hate him. One website is a forum. The question is, does anyone else find Rick Steves to be an enormous? And then I'm gonna censor the word for you. It's just such a dirty word. Does anyone else find Rick Steves to be an enormous? One big one that I've heard is that, you know, people will say, who wants to watch this guy from Oregon, I think, just walk around Europe and just talk about history, drink well below excess, eat mince pies, depending on where he is, you know, just talk to people that live in this country, just normal people that live in the country. Who wants to see that? We want to watch somebody pee on Stonehenge. We want to watch a tour. We want to watch a hip adventure. We want to watch somebody that plays heavy metal music, okay, during their videos. I want a tour guide that will take me to the Great Wall of China and will eat. I want to see somebody rappel down the Eiffel Tower. And it's like, fine, if you want to see that, great, whatever. If that's what you want, fine, you're a terrible person. I'm not going to go to Spain and set fire to the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. If that's what you want to see, sorry. I'm going to go to Spain and ask educated people about the Spanish Inquisition and the history of that, and how and some of the big key tour points that I could see if I'm interested in that. I'm not going to go to London and ask if I can pour tea down the Queen's shirt. I'm gonna go to London and I'm gonna say, could somebody tell me a little bit about the history of Watson and Crick and how they stole their information from a female photographer scientist? I don't even know what you call it, radiologist? What was her professional title? But that's a big argument that people say all the time. They say he's so boring, he doesn't have a presence, and maybe not, but would you rather have presence or knowledge? Would you rather have presence or knowledge? This is another little website I found. It's called I Hate Rick Steves, the Travel Wiener. How could you say that? It starts like this. I'll just read this to you. Whoever thought that there would be a guy who could make travel seem boring and wimpy? Well, that guy is Rick Steves, and PBS loves him. Maybe it's his whiny Canadian, like, effeminate voice. Maybe it's just some chemical thing with me, but I hate his travel show. Mind you, I've nothing against nerds. Heck, I'm censoring. Heck, some of my best friends. That's all it says. Heck, some of my best friends. But a travel writer should be able to impart some romance, some adventure to travel. Steve just makes it sound so bland and dull and wienerish. Does he ever go skinny dipping in Yugoslavia? Get roaring drunk in, well, any country and do stupid things at 3 a.m. and have to evade the police? I have. This is the writer. I haven't. I bet he hasn't. He was too busy writing in his journal and planning his itinerary for the next day. Has this guy been middle-aged since his teens?
In summary, I hate Rick Steves.
Another argument that people make, people say he's a dork, and they use it in such a hateful way. Yeah, maybe he's dorky in a very eccentric way, in a very lovable way, I would say. They're very hateful towards dorks. First of all, a lot of people I think would say that they are dorks. I am not, personally. I'm too cool. I'm a YouTuber. But I think a lot of people would say that they are, and to be so hateful towards him. I wouldn't even say he's that dorky. And fine, you know what? If walking through Zurich and pointing out the doors on the church that Martin Luther posted his 95 Theses to is dorky, then sign me up for dork. If walking through London and pointing out where the English Civil War happened is dorky, then I'm a dork, I guess. If walking down the Scottish Highlands and pointing out ancient runes that have been carved into the mountainside as you just sort of walk through them with a hiking stick, which he uses, is dorky, then I am the biggest dork, I guess, is what I'm saying. I like Anthony Bourdain. He had a great show. He had a great shtick. It's not mutually exclusive, though. You can't say that Rick Steves doesn't have a place on television, too, because Anthony Bourdain does it in a different way. Maybe you like a hip young guy, okay, or girl. Maybe you like some hip young traveler that loves to show you all the hip places in Europe and show you how this is everything new and this is everything super cool. Fine, you can do that. But what I want a man that's maybe what many would say is on the downward slope of his middle ages, who doesn't go crazy when he parties. He just goes historical. Whatever, you know? I'm fired up about this issue, and I know after I post this, then everybody I know with the YouTube channel is going to go and post their own Rick Steves opinion video. As soon as I post this, PewDiePie is going to get on it. I think he might already have one, actually. Rice Gum, I think he's topical. Lele Pons, she always has to say her opinion about everything. She's going to say it about this. Ty Lopez even, probably. I know he's watching now. And before I finish this, I just want to say, if you're about to get in the comments and say, I hate him because he's pro-legalizing marijuana, or I hate him because he's a Lutheran, or I hate him because he is very pro-immigration. If you're going to come in and say all those things, well then don't. Because first of all, I am the law. I set the rules around here. This is an open environment, first of all. If you are hateful, I will burn your YouTube account. I can do that. I figured it out. I figured out how. You just have to basically set the so don't think I won't come and arson your YouTube. And yeah, and he makes bad puns, but you know, he is trying, and he's a comedian. And how could you hate a fun-loving history comedian? How could you hate that? Everybody loves John Green. Why doesn't everybody love Rick Steves? They're basically the same, but one of them walks around and one of them sits at a desk. That's all I'm saying. So if you're gonna get in the comments and say all those things, just don't, because you're the worst. You're one of the stupidest people in the world. Got a bit heated there. I think maybe I'll just sit for a second. I'll just let you sit and listen to the sound of this rain and the sound of me calming down. All that to say, I don't want to make more of a problem, and I don't want there to be a fight. I think there's already so much fighting on the internet about politics, about all the Avengers movies. People fight about those all the time. About the Back to the Future movies coming back. People use forums still, right? When was the one that I was looking at posted? It's 2008. It's been about a decade on this forum, but I know people are talking about it a lot, just in general. So, also, just so you know, if you say a word about how I haven't posted in a while, and how my videos are still pretty long, even though I said I was going to try to not do that anymore. Basically, if I get a lot of complaints, I will be posting a video that's just 45 minutes of me explaining mitosis, and I know you don't have to watch it, but it'll always be there, and eventually it's going to be really annoying. It's going to be sort of like Telltale Heart, you know? So anyway, there's nothing for you this time. Don't stick around or anything, because it's gone immediately. Like, as soon I'm gone. I'm just going to enjoy the rain, and I have more stuff to do, but you don't. You're done with this video, and you better not, you know, stick around for anything, because there's just nothing. What if I sneak up? What if you don't even know that the end of the video is coming? This is entertaining, right? Instead of saying funny words, I'll just do this. What else is down here? Gosh, golly. I think bottle tops or like can tabs. I decided from the get. You guys stop. I promise. Okay.